Whoa, it's the illusion reporting from somewhere on spaceship Earth. I was gonna go make a video out there. I went for a little bike ride. I didn't have enough power in my phone, so we're making it here in the driveway. Life's a trip, man. Life is a trip. I was thinking about how freeing and how heavy it is when you're not looking for anyone to lead you. When you're not looking to anyone to be your guiding light down in the earthly realm. I mean, I have my relationship with God, you know, with Jesus and all that stuff, but it's really a personal space that I occupy just in my deeper spiritual reality. But you get down to here, this lower dimensional realm of the 3 dimensions and the 5 senses, and when you really understand that it's truly up to you, that I'm the one who has to make the decisions about my reality. That, you know, you can look over here for bits of information and look over there for bits of information. But when it comes to following anyone or having anyone lead you, that you can't give away that freedom. That you have to be 100% responsible for yourself in this life. That the minute you look to anyone else to show you which way to go, disaster's at your door. It's interesting. I personally feel like an intense foreboding in my space. You know, just going for like a bike ride around the neighborhood, just checking people out, seeing what they're up to. It was weird. Most people are out walking right now. Like, I'd say 80% of them are just in the natural. And I went by there's like a tennis club on my bike ride, and you kind of ride over, you can look down, and it was like, I was amazed that people were playing tennis with cloth over their face. And I was like, that's so wild. Like, what? It's so weird. I can't imagine doing any sort of physical activity with some sort of cloth over your face. And yet people are, and I'm like, wow, that's so wild. That's all, that reason they do that all comes from them trusting and believing and following other people. It's a weird time, and it's that weird thing where, like, I feel myself. It's the weird thing where, like, there's so much of that out there that, like, I find myself just like, I don't even want to go out. Like, I don't even want to go out and about and just see it anymore. I don't need to see people in their fear and their slavery and their just bondage. I look at it and I go, I try not to, it's their story, right? But I think just subliminally, it just wears on you. You're like, wow, look at that. Like, what is that? Because I have no doubt in my own personal space about my own health and reality, and And I look at all these other people and I know they don't have any confidence in themselves. They don't have any fortitude, any courage at this point. And it just kind of, I look at it and you absorb that energy. And it's not like oh, everyone's just doing what they do. They were doing that before the cloth came out. You know what I mean? These aren't people that just like suddenly decided to be like that. They've always been like that. It's just now very obvious. You're like, oh wow, those people were always like that. It's like an outward extension. Kind of as I'm talking about it, it's like, oh, it's even more radical. It's finally like an outward extension of their inner mind. Their inner being is like right there, just right there. And, you know, you get to this point where you realize that I don't know what you realize. I don't know what you realize. But I can feel it, man. I can feel the dark wave coming. And I'm like, whoa, dude, is it me? And you see it, time's accelerating. You see things are really speeding up, and you're like, well, what is that? And I don't have any answers. I don't know what that is, except, you know, it's the darkness. It's the thing that you would hide under your bed from, dude. It's the boogeyman. It's the scary monster. The demons are loose. And it seems like they're getting ready for their harvest. You know, that's that weird thing where, like, dude, I know that I'm safe because I have a loving, protecting God looking out for me, you know. But it's that thing where peripherally you know that there's this thing coming, and you're like, whoa, like I've got to... You know in Indiana Jones, right? Remember when they lift the Ark of the Covenant, right? And Indiana's tied to the stake with the girl. And he's like, Miriam, just don't look. Keep your eyes closed. Whatever you do, don't look. It's sort of like that, except you can look, you know, but it's that energy of just darkness coming, and, you know, people's realities are melting and their heads are exploding. It really is that scene from Indiana Jones where and I suppose that's it, right? They open the Ark of the Covenant and the whatever comes out of there, right? It's supposedly, I don't know I forget what comes out of the Ark of the Covenant. It's supposed to be like God, but I think it's the wrath. Or maybe it is, and God's just mad. They're looking at the 10 Commandments, right? It's the rubble of the 10 Commandments. The bad people, they want to look, right? They want to look so they perish. I think that's kind of what it is right now. It's like people want to be safe, right? They want the treasure. They want whatever treasure it is. What can I get from being safe, man? I get some extra years on my life. I get some trinkets. I get my movie theater back. I get my trip to the Bahamas back. You know, all I got to do is take their sauce and just And it's like I trip out. I go, what are these people trading in? It's weird. And at the same time, I guess they're trading in the rest of us. Like, yeah, those people are expendable. They're the bad people. They're not non-compliance. They're the bad people. I don't know. It's just that weird thing where I can feel like it's coming. And I'm like, oh, all right. Don't look, Miriam. Just don't, keep your eyes closed and don't look. It'll pass over you. And it will. Maybe it won't. I don't know. History's an interesting thing. History tells us that it's going to get radical. That these things are cyclical. Who would have thunk we'd be here right now, man? on the precipice of just the ultimate darkness, the black abyss, Apollon, right? So, you know, you kind of want to just go about your day. But you realize that, you know, all these people that are conjuring it, like, unbeknownst to them, it is the Watika, the collective mind virus, right? They think the more they comply with it, it'll go away. They think of I'm doing what I'm complying, yeah, and they don't realize that, like, that's what's making it stronger. That it's the compliance that's making it stronger. Ooh. Oh, I'm tired of it. I'm fully, like, staying on the energetically staying free of it all is an exhausting process. It really is like like the Donald Sutherland invasion of the body snatchers. Like, just don't fall asleep, right? You just can't fall asleep. You can't let your spiritual protection fall asleep. You have to fully stay, like, close to God right now. Don't fall asleep, dude. Then you'll be taken over, dude. You'll wake up and you'll be like, comply guy. Give me I'll do whatever it takes. Just give me my trinkets. Give me my extra years, dude. I don't care what it means, dude. I must live. It's so weird. People's desperation. I don't get what they're so afraid of either. Because it's like they're totally afraid of the wrong thing. I don't get it. It's very interesting to watch people trust the out and out evilest entities on the planet. The governments, the pharmaceutical corporations, the military industrial complex. Trust them, trust the cops. Dude, give me a break, dude. Whatever they say, I know, just no. But, you know, it's the other thing too. You can't trust anyone anymore, man. Everybody's in on it. Some people aren't, but you can't trust them either, because you never know when they're gonna crack. People be cracking. Don't look, Miriam. Don't look. Whatever you do, don't look. I don't know, man. I wonder if, like, I just want to get back to making stupid videos about stupid things. None of it's that, like, stupid anymore. Like, that's the weird thing. Like, maybe you can. Maybe it's just a different mindset, right? But that's the thing, right? Like, I go, maybe I could just, like, dumb it all down for a minute, but then I would have to sacrifice my spiritual vigilance. Then I'd have to, like, be like, yeah, don't look, Miriam. Whatever you do, don't open your eyes. Let it pass over you. I wonder, you know, I think a lot about it. I wonder when the people were, like, stopped walking around Berlin, like, all, like, in the 30s. And when did they finally, like, be like, yeah, it's on, bad things? Was it when the Blitzkrieg started? Was it then, or was it before, like, long before then? Were there people, like, I imagine there were a lot of people, like, in Berlin in the 30s, just like me, like, wow, man, this is getting dicey. Not really knowing, because we can look back in hindsight and be like, wow, like that, like, not really knowing, but just feeling it, being like, wow, man, there's some, like, dark energy on the horizon, isn't there, man? Like, I don't really know what it is, but there's some weird laws, some funny people walking around doing some really kind of crazy things. Like, yeah, they're not in my neighborhood, but, like, I can sense it. Like, there's some weird people in charge. It's, the last people weren't that good either, but now there's some really freaky dude in charge. Like, everything about that dude tells me he's bad news. I don't really know what he's going to do. Like, there must have been people all over Germany that weren't like, that were like, don't look, Miriam. And I bet, a bunch of them got through it all right. They pulled it, they ducked and weaved, and I don't know, man. Heavy times, dude. Heavy times, dude. So yeah, you just go for a bike ride, but then you pass the, you go for a bike ride all like la-di-da, and then you pass the tennis courts and you look down into it and you're like, whoa, dude, like, no la-di-da. Those people on the tennis courts, no la-di-da. They aren't just la-di-da with the rackets and their balls. They're fully living in two worlds at once. In fear world and like, I'm just like la-di-da world. Like, I'm just playing tennis, dude. I just have this weird piece of cloth over my face for whatever reason. So strange. So strange, dude. Don't look, Miriam. Just keep your, whatever you do, keep your eyes closed. I remember the dude's face melts and the other guy's head explodes. I forget what happens to the other dude, but he catches on fire. I remember that was a pretty hectic scene in Indiana Jones back in the day when that came out. Like, that was like, whoa, like, I remember seeing that, like, whoa, because it's, it's pretty much an adventure film up until that point, and then you're like, whoa, dude, there's like heads exploding and dudes melting, and don't look, Miriam, don't look. I feel kind of like that's what this is right now. It's like, it's sort of like an adventure film, and then all of a sudden it's just going to take a real hectic turn, dude, where you're tied to a pole just going, don't look, Miriam. Whatever you do, keep your eyes closed. I don't know. Links down below. Go to subscribe to the BitChute channel. That's our backup when they finally kick us on out of here. And, use the name tag. Stay positive. It's okay to be just a little like rattled. I think that energetically speaking, you have to tune into the feelings and be like, okay, yep. And then you can kind of, it's the pretending that this isn't happening, which is causing all the trouble, dude. It's happening. Breathe deep, right? Breathe deep, be grateful, and thank God. Those of us who have God in our lives, we're the lucky ones. The godless are sitting there playing tennis with cloth on their face. Don't look, Miriam. Keep your eyes closed. It's The Illusion signing off.